Awesome. Awesome. Well, I think we're really blessed. I think it's providential you're back in town. Um, so, like I said, the topic today, and we're starting kind of a new season. So, we ended up our last season, and it's just perfect timing that we're in this new space. And we're kind of starting anew. And I think we decided as a group that we wanted our topic today for the second season to really start things off to be about our Blessed Mother, Our Lady. And so I guess the first thing is who is Mary to you? Who is the Blessed Mother to you and maybe in your life?
Okay, so yeah, personally, I grew up. So obviously, I grew up in once again, I told you, a very kind of Catholic family, and so Rosary was. We went a daily Rosary praying. People said you must have prayed the Rosary daily. We did not. So, but it was a regular occurrence in our life. Praying the Rosary. I often remember. As we come home from my grandparents, as the five boys jammed in the car, and I'd hear the glove compartment go open, and I knew that's where Mom kept the Rosary, and hear those beads kind of going out. And let's face it, as a kid, sometimes you're thinking, in the name of the Father, Son, and we prayed it. And I'm so thankful, obviously, that we did that. So Mary was very much a part of our lives growing up, recognizing that she is the Mother of God. And so the devotion was there, very much there. I had my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, very, very devoted to the Blessed Mother. You always saw when you went into her house, a grandma, she lived till she was 97 years old. You always saw her Rosary was always there, which I have that now in my possession, and her pack of cigarettes.
That's awesome.
Not that cigarettes are good for you, but it was always her cigarettes, and she'd have a Rosary in her hand. So we grew up in that household, and so I just always had a strong devotion to Mary. Obviously, it has grown over the years, especially once I entered the seminary. But it has grown. But I've always seen the importance of her, and I've always known that, like I said, through my mother and my father, through especially my paternal grandmother, and then even various priests. My parish priest, my first 13 years of my life, Father Clancy, very devoted to Mary, and I saw that in him. So I just always knew, even if I couldn't always articulate, I always knew, pray to her, it's going to make you go closer to him. Ad Iesum per Mariam, to Jesus through Mary. I always knew that, even though I could never articulate it. So Mary was always a part of my life, even though it's grown even more in the last 30, 40 years.
Yeah. In many ways, I feel like she opens up our understanding of the Paschal Mystery more. I mean, you think of your grandmother who had the Rosary and the pack of cigarettes. Is that not death and resurrection on some level, right? And I think that's who she is for us, and how she guides us to Christ, not just by using her as some empty vessel to get to Jesus, but rather he honors her as his mother. And so it's also like we prayed the Rosary with our moms. It's praying the Rosary with our Heavenly Mother as well. So we go to Jesus with Mary as well. So there's something to that with and through and for
right.
her.
Well, she is, and this is obviously not my words. I mean, this is theologian. She is the quickest and she is the surest way to Jesus. We know that. And the reading for today's Mass actually was from Deuteronomy, and it was about following the commandments, following the commands of God. And we know, of course, the fourth commandment: honor thy father and mother. We know that Jesus fulfilled it completely. And so if he filled it completely on earth, we know that he fills it completely in heaven, and he still gives her honor. So it's up to us, and it behooves us to make sure that we continue to follow the example of Jesus. I mean, there's no better example than that. He who honored his mother, obviously he didn't need to pray to her like we do, but we still honor her in that way. You're right. And it leads us more and more into the Paschal Mystery.
Well, if you haven't already, subscribe, make sure you're getting those notifications, and especially share. Definitely share if you found some of this video to be helpful or in any way insightful. Share it with others, so that'll help us out a lot, help our mission out. Until next time on Spirit and Spire.